We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dheeraj Shah, and I'm hosting this interview with the team from Bold and a bunch of creators from Axie and the Ronin ecosystem. We have 10 people live. That's crazy. Um, yeah, I'll just give a small introduction about myself. People who are watching for the first time, my name is Dheeraj Shah. I make content around Web3 and NFTs and the entire ecosystem in a fun and engaging way. I do a lot of shorts, I do a lot of long form interview with founders, and I'm a huge gaming nerd. I play a lot of games. I just play Valorant. But that's what I am, and I like the ecosystem that's happening in Ronin and Axie. I'm a huge supporter, and with me we have Killer Noobs and Judster, who have been an integral part of Axie and Ronin ecosystem. Killer Noobs single-handedly created Axie India and got all these guys together. And Judster started as a player in the Axie ecosystem. He started collecting feedback. He started thinking more and more how Origin could be better. And now he works with the Axie team, which is super amazing, right? Like all his hard work has paid off. And with me, I have special guests Rahul and Shubham from the team Bold. I first saw you guys when you were on Shark Tank. I found it pretty interesting that, like, hey, we have a representative from the NFT blockchain industry on such a global TV platform. So that was quite interesting. So, guys, tell us a little bit about that. How and tell us a little bit about yourself as well, Rahul and Shubham.
All right. Thanks, Dheeraj. Thanks for having us here. Like you rightly said, you know, giving Web3 and gaming the global platform Shark Tank, that was one of the highlights, only surpassed by our partnership with Ronin. So let me quickly introduce myself. I am Rahul Singh. I come from a small town in India. I did, I have a background in tech as well as marketing. So I was a marketing lead for Star Sports, where I got an opportunity to learn a bit about sports business and about fans and being a gamer from my childhood. Uh, I saw an opportunity, or we saw an opportunity in the gaming plus sports domain, and that's where Bold was born. Bold is actually a culmination of all my experiences and uh, kind of learnings that I've done across my career, which is into marketing, tech, as well as my passion for gaming. That was kind of the genesis of this project. Like I said, we took it to Shark Tank, which is like prime time India national TV, and that gave us a lot of validation and a lot of boost in our community as well. And then, of course, Sky Mavis integration partnership happened, which is actually going to take us to the next level, as well as I think the whole Web3 gaming ecosystem to the next level. Super excited about the new phase of our journey as well as overall the ecosystem.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, Rahul, you were with Star Sports. That's pretty cool, right? Like, this is what it is. I'm going to ask a open question, which is not related to Web3 or anything. Guys, whom do you support? Like, if you watch cricket, do you watch cricket and whom do you support? So, give us Rahul, Jadster, Shubham, Killer Noobs.
Yeah, I've been watching cricket since I was probably 5 years old, and I support in IPL. I support Lucknow because that's my hometown, and of course Team India. So yeah.
Judster?
Yeah, I'm you could say a painful supporter of RCB. Yeah, we have our highs, we have our lows. Most lot of lows, but yeah, it is what it is.
Only
Just
lows.
hoping for the best every day. Yeah,
Is it worth it?
and it's always worth it. Hopefully, one day.
He's a
You know,
masochist type.
What about you, Shubham?
I'm already regretting not wearing my CSK fan jersey. So actually, just a month back, I got a signed jersey, and the reason I got the signed jersey was that I bought some NFTs online. So I won some contest, and I got a CSK player signed jersey. So yes, CSK is my favorite team for the last 15 years now.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice. And I have been a
What about you?
KKR supporter for so long.
KKR.
Okay.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Guys,
Oh,
that's
we are
awesome.
a very
I
big fan
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
diverse family.
I used to watch a lot of cricket as growing up, and like I was so happy. Like I'm from Pune, so it's very sad. Okay, guys, like you still have teams you can support. Like I supported Pune.
Rising
I don't
Pune
know the
Super Giants.
first Pune team with like all black jersey they had. I forgot the name, and then when Chennai got banned, there was Rising. Pune Super Giants, which was the Goenka team, and I was Pune Warriors. Yeah, 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 I forget. What a team, right? Like, and we had almost won the IPL. Like, I don't know how did that happen. We beat Mumbai twice, but like, it's just crazy. So, anyway, thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's get on. Let's move on to bold, right? Like that's. Oh my god, my YouTube just started, so which is not a good thing. So yeah, should we? Can you tell us a little bit about bold, and then we can show everyone the game, and yeah, we can have questions, guys. And I would like to know whom do you support if you're watching in IPL or otherwise as well. Like just comment on the YouTube. I will show your comments. Yeah, Rahul, give us a what is bold.
Right. So, like I already mentioned earlier, Bold.io is basically a sports fan experience that we're trying to build. We're starting with cricket for obvious reasons. We're in India, and you can't start anywhere else but cricket. So Bold.io is a social gaming platform which is based on blockchain technology in Web3. We have a bunch of hyper casual to mid strategy games. Hyper casual are basically breaking down cricket into various small actions, and testing out the users or players on those skills. And strategy games are based on cricket strategy, cricket stats, and actually Shubham is an expert in that. That's the reason he won a few rewards in that space as well. But we are using real cricket players' data, and and created a bunch of games on top of those. Apart from games, we also have a few features which are more towards fan experience, which is, let's say, uh, a Bold.io live lounge, where fans can interact with each other. They can follow the games. They can talk to each other while watching the games. They can play certain games while watching the games. So that's more of a social element to it. But overall, what we want to create is a platform where it's a second screen for the sports fans. And all of this is tied together with the Web3 economy, where we have certain digital assets that the users can own, and the in-game currencies which you can use to play in the games and earn, and also earn rewards. So that is the Bold.io platform in a nutshell. Shubham, if I've missed out anything,
Yeah, so I'll just expand on what level of integration is that we are planning. So let's say we have three categories. One is hyper casual, where it's completely free to play. There are no paid NFTs that are required. You can, and as Rahul pointed out, these are mostly broken down into separate components of cricket. Like you won't see any cricket game where you can shadow practice wicket keeping. right? And I'm a wicket keeper, and I really that's why I relate with one of those games. So where I can just uh, see the ball from point of view of wicket keeper, something like that. So those are hyper casual games. The second is slightly more advanced strategy games. Some of them are card games, like trump card games. One of them is a poker game that we are building. So it would be like sort of a trump card games, but a very innovative take on trump cards, which levels the playing field a lot. And the third category would be obviously the fantasy and the prediction side, which also involves a live cricket element to it. So imagine owning a Virat Kohli NFT, using that in the hyper casual games. Uh, in let's say based on his stats, what he's likely to score in a Lord Stadium. Using that, we're also using the same card to use Virat Kohli's statistics. Like let's say he has wonderful 50 plus average in ODIs. Using that statistic in trump cards in the second tier, and also using Virat Kohli NFT in the prediction and the fantasy game. So that level of integration is that what we are targeting, and of course the entire economy is integrated on a single token. So this is just one sport. We are currently just building on cricket, but the same playbook would be copied across multiple sports. So basically, we can say we are a multi-sport, multi-genre Web3 game with a unified economy.
Got it, got it. But like your cricket is the natural focus
Yeah.
because
Yes.
we've
Yes.
been watching it for a very long time. So my very quick question. I think I have a question for the audience first. Do you guys play any cricket games? What are your favorite cricket games? Comment below. I used to play cricket 07. That was good old days. 10 Dehar and whatnot, right? Like so. Just comment what
Yeah.
games do you play. Okay, so talking about games, right? Like as I mentioned, all these games have already existed, right? Like they've previously existed and they will also exist even without blockchain, right? Why are you guys coming and saying like, hey, we want to build on blockchain? Where is the sense in that?
Uh, so if we come to blockchain games, there are three or four distinct advantages that we have been compromising on for the past 30-40 years. One is you really own your assets in this industry. In traditional games, whatever you buy, it's only it's still stored in the server of the developer. You don't actually own it. It's still owned by them. It's just you get to see it. That's it. But in this the blockchain gaming world, you actually own it. You can sell it. You can destroy it. Whatever you want to do. The second part is you have a sort of immutable history to every NFT that is created, and you can verify it on blockchain. Let's say I have a Virat Kohli NFT, and I have a history like on whatever games that he has played. And the point is the developer cannot do anything about it. He cannot manipulate it. It's all on the blockchain. Blockchain also enables very rich marketplaces where you can monetize whatever time and effort you have put in. Let's say you played a game for 10 years and now you no longer want to play, or no longer able to play anymore. So you still there was no way to exit that game in a fruitful or a monetizable way. So rich marketplaces allow you to sell your assets, which is in turn your effort and time. Uh, and of course, one thing that is common across every application for blockchain, it's let's say the take rate. The take rate is defined as the percentage of commission that is taken by the developer. In gaming industry, it used to be 100% take rate. Every money, the entire penny used to go to the developer, whereas in blockchain games, it's less than 5%. The value is created much more efficiently across all the stakeholders and not only the developers. So the people who are playing, they are the major stakeholders, and hence that is where the value is stored in the blockchain industry.
Awesome. I get it. I will try to sum this up for everyone who's listening and who is little bit non-technical. Uh, NFTs or blockchain allow you to basically own all the assets, whatever, like the game rewards you have gotten, and keep them for forever. Even if the game gets shut down or whatnot, even if you get banned, you still have those assets which are tradable, which makes quite a lot of sense to own your assets. Second is what has been happening is if you play, let's say, a PUBG or any game, right? Like you buy a skin and you pay the publisher the game 100%. Like you, let's say you buy 100 rupees ka skin, you directly give it to the publisher and that goes into their pocket. What is happening with NFT games is I and Judster can trade skins, or I can buy something from him, and instead of buying new skin for 100 rupees, he might sell me for 80 rupees or 70 rupees or 10 rupees because the value of that skin is very low, or 300 rupees because that skin has stopped um 10, like 1 year ago or something like that, right? Like, so here we can trade using NFTs, and as a game they can also make 1%, 2%, 5% on that transaction because they are facilitating it. So it becomes a new channel for the game to also make money, and all of us as players to also participate in the economy if the game goes bigger. All right. If you guys understood, please comment. If you didn't understand, no problem. You can still comment. This is where I'm at. Let's look at the game, right? Like I have my phone right here, bruh, and I'm just gonna share my screen, and we're just gonna play some games and tell me comments, please, which one did you like, and where I can just present my screen. Till then, Judster and Killer Noobs, if you have any question, let me just ask.
Yeah, actually, one question like related to the example that you gave, Shubham. Like, let's
Yeah.
imagine I have a player card of Virat Kohli, right? And I can use it across multiple mini games that is in bold. So,
Yeah.
is there any like copyright factor that comes in, or like any legalities that you have, like to use that player's name? Like, is there going to be like some collaborations with the players themselves, or like, so how is
So,
that going to
as
proceed?
far as the IP rights are concerned for a cricketer, so everything is everything comes under the law in a very different manner. The image rights comes differently. The usage of name rights comes differently. The usage of player rights within a jersey and without a jersey, they are treated separately. So there is a lot of technicalities involved using those IP, and we are working we are working on that. Maybe not immediately, but sometime in 2023 we should be able to see a Virat Kohli NFT as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
ideally, I mean, IP. So we are working towards, you know, seeing how we can use the public domain. So we're currently using a lot of statistics from real players, right? And this is all public domain data, right? So that is allowed by law. Name and likenesses, currently we are looking for ways how we can use, but going forward, I think ideally it will be all of these platform, all of these players also be part of the platform, and
yep, yep.
they can also kind of have a say, or have a part in the, or equity, or I mean, equity means
Yeah,
something they can also benefit by loaning the name. So ideally that is how it works. But we've seen in games like Dheeraj earlier mentioned, cricket 07 or Bangalore cricket. So there are ways we can do that. But yeah, we're working towards, within the limits of the law. We have a legal team who kind of advise on that.
even for the players themselves, like pretty exciting. Like with the help of blockchain tech, they can also get a portion of like the rewards themselves, right? And depending
Absolutely.
on how well they perform in the game itself, the more that cards get traded, and that's like a win-win for I think everyone involved.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if
Yeah,
you
it
add
does.
absolutely.
It does make sense.
just add in real life utility to it, and it becomes something very special. A NFT, let's say, uh, a special holder of a Virat Kohli card gets a meet and greet with him personally. That becomes
Yep.
something else altogether.
Yeah.
Oh man, that utility. Well, everybody must be very greedy listening to that.
Yeah.
Technically, every RCB fan should deserve that, but
You need Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't.
Okay.
imagine you're like a lifelong fan, and that is what blockchain enables, right? What Shubham
Yeah.
was saying, that even if we don't exist tomorrow, Boulder Dyer does not exist. I mean, you have a lifelong memorabilia for Virat Kohli, which is yours truly, right? You keep it with your wallet. It's not on our servers or anywhere. Suppose no one can take it away from you, and the benefits that accrue on it will always accrue for you, right?
and if
So
you like our NFTs, you can create a game yourself and which takes advantage of those NFTs also.
absolutely,
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
yeah, that
We're
does
coming
make
to
sense,
that.
but it doesn't, because like no one is going to work extra hard to do it. So like, let's just be honest here. So okay, guys, I'm gonna share my screen here. I think I'm already sharing. Are we? Woo! Let's go. Magic
Let's
layout
go.
change. Okay, guys. So Rahul or Shubham, tell me which game should I try. There's like multiple. I think I want to try one or two just to show
Shubham,
it to
your
the
game.
I
audience.
think I'm a wicketkeeper, so I'd prefer catch.
Wicket Q. Oh
Okay.
my god, that game, right? Like, so that gives me a lot of anxiety while playing. because the ball swings here and there. So I'm gonna play while Judster and Killer Noobs will ask you questions, and I'll just show the gameplay while that is happening. And guys, if you have any comments or any thoughts, or if I should say more jokes, please, like just ask in the
Yeah, always okay
chat.
for more jokes.
Okay, cool.
So, like a couple of days ago, you did a poll on Twitter about which games the community would like to add next, right? I
Yes.
think there was basketball and a couple of other games. I voted for basketball, so I remember. So, what are you guys planning on? What is going to be the next game that's coming into Bold.io after cricket?
Most likely, it's going to be one of either football or basketball.
Oh, yeah,
Actually, we're working on both.
Working on, yeah.
yeah, football
Wait,
is
Deus, can
also
you like lower the music of the game? I think it's overlapping the
okay. I
comments.
guess so.
Music from the game is high.
My bad. Let me
So,
stop that. Let me stop the music.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's no.
Sorry, guys.
yeah,
Sorry. I was just
all
enjoying.
no, all good, all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football would be a good way to go to because in Northeast, since I'm from Northeast, after West Bengal, people prefer even in West Bengal, people prefer football more than cricket, right? So so we need some football too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. In West Bengal, Kerala,
Yes, sir. And
East,
all the states of Northeast, yeah, we're big
all
on
the states.
football. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
So
mean, for football, we can just say globally.
Yeah, absolutely.
the Axie community is also global, and they are more into football and basketball. So
Yes, sir.
Oh, would the
Yeah.
name like? Would there be any? Have you guys given any thoughts like when expanding to other games? Would it still be like Ball.io, or would like is it going to be like
no,
a different?
so yeah, we have given it a thought, and me being a marketing, I think this always keeps running in my mind. What strategy to use, but I think bold is very cricket specific term. So what we're gonna do, uh, it is a cricket specific term, but we have been able to establish it in the minds of people, right? As a gaming platform. So we're going to use umbrella strategy, which means that Boulder Eye becomes the umbrella brand, and we have various different sports within that, right? So you have cricket, we have we can call the football one goals or something like that, and basketball hoops or something, but it will be like a powered by bold.io. So
And rest assured, it would be the economy would be single. They would be just
yeah,
dual token economy, and there won't be multiple tokens for multiple sports. It would be a single token.
Which game should I try next, guys?
Yeah, I think
Rahul, your choice.
Which one?
why don't you try Sixer?
Sixer. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, guys, this
Alright.
is the game.
Yeah, I think the economy factor is like pretty important, especially to like people in the Web3 ecosystem. Like introducing something new, it's like the first question that comes into mind. Like what happens with the previous stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and that's
good to hear that
how the
you guys
community
mentioned.
stays together. Let's say if I play cricket, but I see an opportunity. If I play a football game, then I might be able to earn some tokens. So I might migrate to basketball. Someday I might play football if that is the game of the week. So that's how you create a more unified economy. Otherwise, you have separate cricket economy, cricket community, basketball community, and that's not actually
Yeah,
the goal.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, right. Coming back to board, like as you guys mentioned, like currently it's focused on like there's multiple hyper casual games that we can just play for 30 seconds, a minute or two, right?
Yeah,
But there are also like I saw in the white paper, there's like card games, like fantasy
yeah.
games. So like, what are the current development priorities for it? Like, are you gonna like focus more on the hyper casual games, like polish them first and then move on to the card games, or like it's gonna run like side by side depending on like what's the strategy there?
Yeah, we're running it in parallel. So card games is more for the core user. Like if you see the card games, they are more stat based, and people need to know about the sport to understand and to play them and to actually have a chance of winning. But at the same time, you have hyper casual where you don't really need to know the stats or even know the players, right? Someone who doesn't know cricket can perhaps start playing catch or sixer. So we are going to run both. Hyper casual will act as top of the funnel exercise where we attract a lot of casual players onto the platform, uh, distribute a few tokens to them, uh, introduce them to the economy as such, right? And then try to bring them on board on the other more serious games.
Even when
So
the game is matured, there would be a place, there would be a significance for the hyper casual games, and there would be a significance for the
Yeah,
card games as well. They both will be serving their purpose.
absolutely, absolutely, and
definitely.
both will run in parallel. So the team is working on both kind of games, right?
And for like the fantasy games, I think that's scheduled like as from
Yeah,
the white paper, it's scheduled for Q4, I believe, if I'm not
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Post post card games. Month.
Yeah, that's something that's really popular in India right now, right? Like
Yeah.
fantasy cricket games.
Yeah.
I bet like everyone who watches IPL, who's like especially you could say who's earning, like he's one way or another somehow involved in that. And blockchain tech actually takes it to the next level. So yeah, that would be like pretty exciting
The
to see
problem
how
that
that
you see
pans
in fantasy and prediction games currently is you don't serve the developer a lot. People have really doubts: is the winning team really a person or it's just a bot? And if you integrate blockchain into it, everything is verifiable.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Right.
Guys, I'm back. So I have a question, right? Like I played this game. Where where and what is the NFT angle or crypto angle to it? Like is it the points we earn after that or what happens? Like or is it still not there yet?
It's still not integrated in all of the hyper casual games, but
Yeah.
there have
How does
been
it work though? Like what
uh,
will be the flow?
there are some other games. If you see, I think there's NPL or Face Off, where you have avatars, where you can buy. There's a marketplace as well where you can buy uh, skins, avatars, the faces, the bats, and the balls. And the more rare avatar you buy, you start from a higher level in terms of metadata. And obviously, the more you play, you get a chance to upgrade the metadata faster. uh, and that is where, and of course, you can sell it freely in the marketplace. That is where the NFT angle comes in.
Cool.
But
So
let's say you played, sixer. There's a bat involved. So once we have released all the bats, we'll be integrating the very same bats into the hyper casual games as well.
Cool, cool, cool.
So,
So I'm just gonna stop screen sharing and I'll just take a question from the audience, which I think we also have, right? Like, so Pinto says that, like, don't you think catch is a very basic game? We've been playing these games for years, right? Like decades. What's special here, right? Like, so I do remember back in 90s, I used to play these mini clip games which were like flash based, right? Like, so this is very similar to that, right? Like, so what is that additional layer you guys are bringing in for me to not go to minuteclip.com or like any other website which has similar experience, and we've been playing even if there was no money attached to it, right? Like, so what's the difference? Like, I would like love to hear your guys view on that.
All right, so let me take you through the journey, and it ties up with that, right? A typical user journey is starts with hyper casual games where you'll play games and you'll earn some in-game tokens, right? That's the difference. I mean, that's the first pointer difference between, let's say, a mini clip game versus a bold.io, right? Catch is definitely not the last game that we will build. Of course, this was POC, more of a minimum viable product, but we are building more engaging games which are hyper casual in nature. But all of these games will act as maybe token mining plus entertainment entry point kind of, right? So you can earn a lot of in-game tokens here, right? You can also play player versus player in this and stake some of the tokens, and double your tokens, or maybe staking is also going to work
25 दिन
for
में
you.
टोकन डबल.
25 मिनट
No,
में दिन में जरूर.
25 minute में. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the entry point, right? Now you use these tokens. Now you have a bunch of tokens in your wallet, right? You use these tokens to buy some NFTs on the marketplace, right? These could be player cards, right? This could be stadium cards. Stadium cards are actually the highest valued asset on the platform. So these player cards and stadium cards will be used in the strategy games that are building, the card games and everything, right? So let's say you have fantasy, or you have the poker game that we are building. You'll use those card games, sorry, the card NFT cards, and of course you can trade and earn money through that as well. So that unifying the economy part is the difference. Casual games will keep on changing. Today it's catch. We'll build something else tomorrow, and continuously keep refreshing the catalog. But
If you see, the user attention is very limited in hyper casual games. That's why
yeah,
you need a dynamic library of hyper casual games that keeps on coming. But yes, the core engaging gameplay, you won't put a 100 rupee or a 1,000 rupee bet in a game like catch, right? It's just way to pass some time and maybe earn a limited amount of free tokens every day. That is its so core purpose. But yeah, the primary staking, let's say we come together on a table, you put 1,000 tokens, I put 1,000 tokens, winner takes all. That is going to happen on card games where some level of
yeah,
strategy or skill is involved.
Okay, cool. I think let's make it little bit quick. Tell me, you guys just launched the white paper, right? Can you run us through it? Like, what? How does your white paper look like? What is happening with Bold right now?
Okay, so at the core, we are, as I said, multi-sport, multi-genre sporting game. We start with cricket. In cricket, we have three sections of games. One is hyper casual. They remain today and for always. They remain free to play, where you can earn a limited amount of tokens every day. Uh, that number of tokens you can use to buy NFTs. You can use to play state games in the strategy games, which is the type 2 game. Let's say there are card games, there are poker card games, trump card games, different versions of that. You, that is a place where you make, where you spend most of the time and spend and earn most of the money, buy NFTs for the strategy games, the strategy and the card games. The third category adds the element of the real cricket games to it, because our attraction to cricket and our attachment to cricket is still a lot on what is happening in IPL right now. We don't love cricket primarily because there is a good game that we can play on our mobile. It's still because we love to watch cricket and we love to play cricket. So that's why there is a category that still relates to people who want to relate it to the real cricket game. So that's why we have a third level of games. So a typical user journey, as you've stated in the white paper, originates from the hyper casual games. Before putting any money, he can get a taste of the game. He can get some tokens for free, use it to buy NFTs, use it to buy before you want to put his real tokens into it. He can get some free tokens, buy some NFTs, play state games, spend, and if he finds those games engaging enough, he can commit commit in a bigger way, and he can also interact with real life games as well, because some people just don't play games. They just want to interact with the actual cricket match that is going on. So that option is still there. And just like cricket, you copy the same playbook to football, same playbook to basketball and other games in future. You play hyper casual basketball games, where simple swipe up and score the basket, these kind of games. Then the card games, because every game has its set of statistics, its set of players and stadiums, which can be tokenized as NFTs, and every game also has a live element associated with it. Yeah.
So let me spend some time on the economy part as well, because that's what kind of brings the whole thing together, right? So we have two dual token economy. One is the governance token, which is called Bold, BWLD, and second is Run token, which is our in-game currency. Bold token is a governance token, so it's limited supply. It's basically a rarer asset. You can either buy it off treasury, you can or again get it, earn it on the platform by a very maybe a couple of ways. Staking is one of them, and also tournament rewards and leaderboard rewards. Uh, the in-game currency is uncapped supply, and that you can earn by playing mini games. Then you can exchange that on the marketplace and get some NFTs. So that is the whole economy part of it. Then you have, like Kishore mentioned, the assets, which are consumable and non-consumable assets. The consumable assets are your bats, balls, gloves, and all these, which are used and burned, while the non-consumable are the player cards and stadium cards. That is something, if you own, they are going to earn you rewards throughout their life, right? And you can also trade them on the marketplace to earn uh, their market value.
All right.
Okay,
Killer
yeah,
Jetstar. You have,
ultimately
yeah,
it's yeah, ultimately it's gonna be a three token game, right? Because Ron is gonna come in as the blockchain token, which the gamer would need to interact with the Ronin ecosystem, and people who would want more stake in the game would get the bold token, and the run token would be the daily economy token, right? So
So as
that's
far
how.
as I understand, there is no, direct requirement of Ron in
Yeah.
any of the Sky Mavis portfolio games. But obviously, because we'll be building on Ronin, there would be a Ronin bridge where we can easily and without any significant transaction fee, convert Ron tokens into any game, into any Sky Mavis games token. So basically, it's
Yeah.
as good as a Ron token, or both is as good as a Ron, or Ron is as easily convertible to a bold token. You'll have
Okay.
to use a bridge to convert those.
Okay,
Yep.
so you mentioned staking as well, right?
Yeah.
So is DeFi going to be a major part of the whole
So basically, what we talk
ecosystem?
about, there are two kind of staking. One is obviously the crypto native term. You stake some bold tokens, you keep it locked, you get a yield on it. But what the major part of staking that is used in the white paper is, let's say, wagering a certain amount of tokens when playing with some other person. Let's say you and me are playing and we want to put 100 tokens each against each other. So we are staking 100 tokens each, and the winner takes all. So that kind of staking is being talked about in the white paper.
Oh, so the governance token would be used to wager.
No, no, no. That would be the secondary token, utility token. The governance
Okay.
token would be slightly has an advanced use case. Buying some NFTs, not all NFTs, like the premium NFTs, like the stadium NFTs, and
Okay.
they would be rewarded. Uh, let's say there are big tournaments like when the World Cup comes, or you can create private contests, and if it's a big tournament, the rewards would be in Bold token as well, and that's why that's one of the major source of supply for Bolt token as well, and that is P2 is taking rewards.
Okay. Great.
Alright.
Um,
So yeah, I had a question about secondary assets. I was reading the white paper, and so as you guys mentioned, like secondary assets are like flexible and over time they depreciate, right? So it is mentioned like secondary assets will provide like in-game advantages.
Yeah.
So that means like if someone is spending some extra like tokens on to purchase those secondary assets, so he can have the in-game advantages in
But
the
yeah,
games
those
mentioned.
are mostly targeted towards hyper casual games. If you see card games, Virat Kohli does not know which ball is being used. He does not care which bat is being used. Let's say you are playing catch game. The level of wicket keeping gloves that you have determines its wear and tear and the speed with which the glove moves. It may not be, PvP. So even if you are playing on your own, you're just using it to get a higher score and hence get a higher reward. That's still a free to play game, but you can, use those assets to get those rewards faster. Let's say you are earning
Yeah,
X tokens every day. With those assets, you could earn X plus Y tokens every day in a free to play manner. And of course, if
Yeah,
the
yeah,
economy makes sense, you might make some profit by selling it those in the marketplace.
okay, awesome. And so, and the other cards that you mentioned, like stadium cards, which is the highest
Yeah,
rarity and like highest level you could say in the game, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like
One of
I
the most
read
premium
about
cards. Yeah.
stadium cards. Yeah, like I think like the audience would really love to know what stadium cards are because that is something like I that really caught my eye
Yeah,
while I
they are
was reading
not
the white
as
paper.
intuitive to understand as player cards, but every match, let's say there is a simulation match going on between the five-player team that I have and the five-player team you have. So Virat Kohli also plays differently in Lords as he plays in, let's say, Wankhede. If the match is happening in Wankhede vis-a-vis Lords, the outcome of the game is likely to be different as well. If it's a simulation game, the backend engine will take on Virat Kohli's history in Lords if it's happening in Lords. So that is how the stadium comes into play. Let's say there is a match being held in Eden Gardens, Kolkata. Then the value of Rohit Sharma in that game is much more than his value in some other game. And if you are a holder of that stadium, you'll also earn a rental income. Let's say two players are playing, you are not even playing. You just hold one of the Eden Gardens card. And if they're playing a match in Eden Gardens, you'll be earning a small percentage of the staking that they're playing. Both are putting, let's say, 100 tokens each. The winner won't take 200 entirely. A few percentage, small percentage, whether it's 1% or 2%, would go to the stadium card owners, and this becomes a source of passive income for the stadium card owners. Even without putting their time, it's still earning for them.
Yeah, yeah, that's really awesome, right? Like a rough idea that I can currently think of is like let's say like someone is organizing tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
So for them, it makes more sense to hold these stadium cards,
yeah,
and so like they attract like those specific players to play on their stadiums. The better the
yeah,
tournaments they can hold, the more value they get because games are being played on their stadium cards.
yeah.
absolutely.
Just expand on player utility cards as well. Uh, the challenge with gaming industry has always been, how to prevent it from becoming a pay to win game. You just need to have the best NFTs and you win. The way we have tried to circumvent is, let's say, Virat Kohli card. What advantage a Virat Kohli card will give you? Of course, you'll be able to use him, but every player, even if he does not own a Virat Kohli, will also be able to use him in some way. Let's say we both are playing 100 tokens each, we staked against each other. You use a Virat Kohli card, you didn't own it, right? Let's say Rahul owns it. So, and if you win the entire game, some proceeds will go to Rahul because he rented out his card to you so that you could win. So even if you didn't own it, I didn't own it, we could use it just because we rent it out from somebody else. We pay a small commission to Rahul. Thanks for us, using it. It's not that Rahul
Yeah,
has Virat Kohli, only he can use it. Everyone can use it, but there are advantages of owning it, such as rental income, passive income.
yeah.
So
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 correct me if I'm wrong. So like,
go ahead,
like,
go ahead, go ahead, bro.
so this is similar to the scholarship system that people manually implement in like Web3 specific games, but this thing
It's
is
all kind of
kind of
automated.
implemented
So,
directly,
yeah, it's kind
automated
of automated.
directly in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you see, there is a new ERC standard, ERC 4907, that enables renting of NFTs, and that is the core purpose of it. You can rent out NFTs and the smart contract has everything already pre-recorded. What is the duration, what is the price for that, NFT being rented out. So basically, we'll be automating this in the game. It creates a level playing field. If I'm not sure I should buy a Virat Kohli card, I can just play it. I can play a few games by renting it out, pay a small 1% commission for every game that I play. And once I'm certain that, yeah, this card helps me a lot, and if I want to save on the commission, I can buy that Virat Kohli card directly.
So
Yeah,
a
that's pretty awesome.
follow up question to this. So these NFTs, right? The player NFTs, uh, all these NFTs are sold by Bold, right?
Yeah, these will be, we'll have regular drops, periodic drops, but of
Okay.
course, according to the rarity, they would be limited in number.
Rarity. Okay, great. Is there any ways the users can generate NFTs at any point in time and can sell it in the marketplace?
We have a certain plan regarding it, calling it a, star player, like you create your own NFTs. We are still not sure, how would breeding work in cricket like it does in Axie. I'm not sure how could you breed Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni and create a new cricketer. It's still debatable, and what kind of stats does he have? It becomes
Yeah.
subjective. That's the problem. And cricket has always been a very objective game. You know what you expect from Virat Kohli. It's difficult to introduce subjectivity into a game where people, are so attracted because the some sort of certainty that a player involves. But we are still planning on, a player can still create. Let's say we release only 10 new player cards that you can cultivate, you can play, you can train, and then you can cultivate its own metadata. So, but not anytime soon. We'll still have our usual card game with the likes of Virat Kohli, Josh Butler, and all.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Like for like let's say these cards, like instead of like how in Axis like parents are there in
Yeah,
cricket,
yeah,
they could be like mentors. Like so
yeah.
they mentor two three guys
But
come
Yeah.
together,
in
they
actually, you
mentor
have,
a new player.
fictional data. Actually, you have fictional data. It's actual real life data. How do you merge it? It's still
Yeah,
debatable.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
So
that's
yeah.
is helping in game development, right? So I think he can help us uh,
yeah.
ideate a little bit. Maybe we'll connect with you and generate some ideas there.
For sure. No, Jester
Yeah.
is cool.
So, guys, we'll be taking
Yeah.
audience questions soon. Just now, you can comment whatever you want. We will ask those questions. I know I missed quite a few questions before, but now you can ask. I have a couple of questions. And like if you both also have questions, then you can also ask. So my question is, how do you like? I want to ask very specifically about Web3 and Ronin ecosystem. How do you plan to integrate, or is it like a invisible integration that like, hey, the game is running on Ronin, but not people don't need to know what's happening behind the scenes? And what is something novel you guys are doing with these blockchain integrations is what I would like to know.
Yes.
I
So,
think you have to be very smart what all aspects you would want to put on chain, because it also hinders the user experience. The exact every gameplay, every action, does it need to be on chain? We are not very sure, but obviously the marketplace transactions, the ownership rights, and the transfer, those would be on chain. Uh, because in India the major audience is still not as blockchain savvy. It's still, it's not fair to ask them to do everything a typical Web3 game involves. So we are still looking at what all to demand from our users, uh, how to safeguard their wallets as well. They are not used to, storing passwords at 12 seed phrase. So we are still debating that, discussing that internally with the Sky Mavis team, what all parts to put on chain, what to be kept off chain.
yeah. So in terms of the game Bold.io, I mean, of course, we will be having our own economy. We'll be having our own tokens, and as far as the interoperability between Ronin and us is concerned, the it'll be limited to, of course, the backend tech integration that we are doing. So we're building on their chain. We're minting the tokens on the chain, and we are using the wallet, Ronin wallet. But at the same time, you'll also see an integration in the place in the marketplace. So you'll have the Ronin marketplace, which will have our assets, and there will be a very smooth swapping mechanism of the tokens. And we're also doing a very strategic integration of the community as well. So we are using accessing their community as well as they're accessing ours, and we're trying to build some synergies over there. So that's the extent of our partnership.
Awesome. So, talking about communities, what is your target market right now, and what are you guys doing as marketing efforts? I also saw that, like, you guys got Harsha Bhogle as a strategic advisor, partner,
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like, so I think for game like yours, like, these are the kind of things that will actually bring in a lot of people than, like, CPA, or, like, just doing a lot of things, right? Like, because these guys already have such a crazy audience. Someone like Harsha, right? Like, even though he's a commentator, uh like, people
Yeah.
still love him, right? Like, so are you in talks with any players? Are you in talks with any teams? Like, what is your plan?
Right. In terms of marketing, so far we've done organic community building efforts mostly. The challenge with the Indian market in cricket is that the Web3 and crypto part is not very well seeped into the target audience, that is our cricket gamer persona that we have, right? So currently, if you see, there is very little overlap between the cricket gamer persona and the person who wants to trade and do crypto native things, right? So uh, Harsha Bhogle and the likes, we are in talks with other players and other stakeholders in the ecosystem as well. They bring in the gamer and the sports cricket persona, and once we go into other sports, we'll obviously be bringing those stakeholders from those ecosystems as well. But that will be for the gamer, and for Web3, we are relying on influencers and basically we're attracting the trader persona, right? Which is the asset holder, or who will buy and sell the tokens and stuff like that. So that's the target market, and we are using both, two pronged strategy. Like you said, one mass market, Harsha Bhogle, brand ambassador, investor, and on the other side, typical native Web3 marketing.
Just to add one more example, just to attract the core cricket audience, to attract that as a community as well. Every Friday we host a Twitter space on our Twitter channel, where we only and only talk about what is happening in the cricket world. We don't talk about what is gold, player games. The entire spaces is targeted on, let's say, why is Rahul still playing for India, and every hot topic on cricket. So we get a lot of mixed opinions. Why Sanju Samson not playing? Why is he playing? Why is he not playing? So we do that, we get a lot of engagement due to that, and that because we are still focusing on the game, on the cricket, and not just the game. Let's say why should we play? Uh, so that brings us a lot of good cricketing audience, and we also get some cricket influencers on Twitter on board to speak with us, where we get thousands of listeners every week.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest regular cricket space in India, right? Regularly, then at that, it's done weekly without fail, and we get thousands of followers. So I think it's one of the biggest cricket-based space in India.
Awesome. Guys, just a killer. Do you have any questions, or can we start taking audience questions?
Mm, would like to know more about that campus program and
Yeah,
the build your own game program, right?
right.
Those things, I think those are further down the line, maybe the build your own game. But what about the campus ambassador or camp program?
Right. So we ran a campus ambassador program. We have close to 200 campuses that we reached out via directly as well as with partners. So we have some campus partners on board that help us reach out to them. We identify some ambassadors in the colleges who are passionate about gaming and who understand our platform as well, and they are in charge of then uh, creating the community within the campus, right? So we hold gaming nights, we hold certain events as well, uh, offline and online as so that's the campus captain program. We are planning to upscale it. We tried it earlier. It was a success, and then now we are trying to actually expand it much further. But before that, we need to build the platform, and that's been the focus of the past couple of months. So that's on the campus program, and a part of the campus program was also build your own game, where we went to the gamers and asked them to create games. We were focusing on hyper casual, and we saw that there was a lot of interest in creating the games because they were coming up with ideas, telling us, you should do this, you should do that, and so on and so forth, right? So we did a pilot on that as well in IIT Madras, which happens to be my college, and we got some decent participation there, some decent games over there as well. But down the line, we will be expanding that further into other campuses.
Awesome, this is amazing. And all this campus ambassador program was done by the bold IO team, or the community helped in too,
So, like I said, we have captains in different campuses. Of course,
right?
those were the main people who helped us, spread the word and also do some events in
Okay,
the campuses.
okay.
Plus, we also did something with the partners. Like I said, so we have a couple of campus partners who are more uh, in the campus community, right? Who are more active. They do a lot of events over there, so we partnered with them and went to the campus.
Last question would be, before the next time we talk, I would like to know the daily active users of bold.io today, and maybe next time when we meet, we'll talk about how much we have grown.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is one caveat to it. We are actually right now migrating our analytics platform. So earlier it was a very basic, Firebase based analytics platform. We are migrating it to a more professional setup. So when the last time we checked, the DAU was close to 10,000, right? It went way up during the Shark Tank time, but of course it normalized in recent days. Um, so yeah, that's what it is right now. We'll see how it is growing when the next time we talk. Hopefully, it'll be 10x or 100x of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
hope.
okay. Last question from my side. I know, like, giving timelines. especially developing a game is a very hard thing, but a very loose timeline that we can expect the game to be on Ronin. Like actually, like integration to be done. Like, is there a
All right. So
I
timeline?
think
yeah,
on-chain integration is scheduled for Q3
yeah.
2023. Uh, so maybe August or July is when we are targeting.
So it's actually
Awesome.
happening in multiple phases. First, we'll integrate the wallet within our platform. So everyone who creates a account will start getting Ronin wallet by default, right? And then second level of second stage of integration will be actually minting the token on Ronin blockchain and then integrating the marketplace. So that, like Shubham said, will happen in Q3, end of Q3 or early Q4. That's the plan, at least. We'll see.
Yeah, like yeah, definitely. Understand how
Oh,
there can be multiple variables.
things can go haywire anywhere. So, but
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah, that's a timeline.
Yo, so I think
awesome.
we can ask audience question. I just discovered this new tool where you can write
And that
stuff.
is so cool, no?
It's very cool.
Yeah,
Even if you just join in, then you will have an idea what is happening. So I think Mr. Pinto D'Souza has been asking a lot of questions. So I'll just see. I'll just pick one up. Pinto says, "What can I do with in-game token? Will it be valuable or tradable in market? If if that is possible, don't you think it will become Ponzi-nomics, right? Like, so the whole point is, where will the value of the token come from, and why wouldn't it just be any other Ponzi? So that's the question.
Shubham, you want to take that? Finance
Yeah.
Guru.
So in-game tokens, the utility tokens that we've talked about, those would be obviously a certain amount of that you would be earning by playing free-to-play games, but that would be limited in number. They will give you a chance to, let's say, buy an entry-level NFT. They would not be directly, withdrawable to fiat. In recent future, the way, but obviously there would be an exit. The way you have to do is obviously you can buy NFTs using it. You can sell those NFTs in the marketplace. The other ways are, you can accumulate a lot of them, play stake games. Let's say you put 100 tokens, Rahul, let's put 100 tokens. If you win the match, it's yours. So that's the way. The there is always that challenge with the supply for every Web3 game. Uh, for that, we'll be having a very limited set of pre-releases, but we'll also be having very aggressive burn mechanisms. Once you enter the marketplace, there will be a lot of avenues you can, burn those tokens as well. Every game, every state games you play, there would be a mechanism where some of those tokens could get burned. So that will, try to counter the supply schedule.
Cool.
Yeah.
So follow up on Pinto. He's like, you guys were talking about renting, right? Like, hey, you can rent Virat Kohli and whatnot. So he's saying that no renting system has worked as of now.
No, it's not that I'll get ownership rights. Let's say there are 10 Virat Kohli cards and we have 10 owners of Virat Kohli cards separately. Let's say Rahul and me are playing. Uh, we both do not own a Virat Kohli card. And let's say Rahul is using a Virat Kohli card. So it's not that the smart contract has the name changed from XYZ to Rahul for that particular game. Rahul continues to use it. It's just that whatever the win that he has got, he'll be sharing that percentage commission to all the 10 Virat Kohli owners in a pro rata manner. So technically, the ownership is still with those 10 guys. They'll be just earning, let's say, a commission for other people using it.
Cool. Varun is asking, can a player's performance in game be affected if they're not doing well in real life? I'm
Uh,
assuming if they're not playing well in real life and not if they're sick. Okay, just yeah. Or both.
yeah.
Or both.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in some games it would, in some games it would not. Let's say if it's a stat based game and it's aggregate stats which are being used. Let's say suddenly player is injured, his stats are still the same. So in that scenario, it won't be affected. But yes, in the simulation, we'll be having some game modes where you can see what kind of form the player is in. And let's say if he scored very good recently, is in top of the ICC rankings. Yeah, so ICC. So there is a index also which we are planning to use in one of the games. It's a FICA T20 player index. So there is a cricket body approved by ICC which releases top 100 players across the world in T20, not just T20 internationals, across all the T20 tournaments, which kind of merges, let's say, IPL, BBL, PSL, and there is a global 100 ranking. It's a single ranking for all-rounders, bowlers, batsmen. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. So we'll be try to using that as well. That will determine its rarity, its performance, and in that way, you can say the player performance will affect some of the games. It will not in some of them.
Thank you. Akira TV is asking, is the team planning to? I think you answered it, but like, please answer again. Is the team planning on making the game more immersive and interesting apart from the Web3 angle? Not saying the game is boring, but even as a hyper casual game, it lacks that.
Yeah, we realize that that's a common feedback that we've got, and like I said, not defending, but we just created a few hyper casual games as proof of concept. We are actually now working with and these were all made in house, by the way. For hyper casual games, for more engaging hyper casual games, we are actually tying up with some of the best independent studios across the world. So we are actually speaking with few studios in Europe and Southeast Asia who are experts in building hyper casual games for the last 10, 15, 20 years. And those guys will be using their expertise to build more engaging, more engrossing hyper casual game. But they will still be hyper casual. They will not be AAA games. They will not be very immersive kind of experience. They will be hyper casual in nature.
Cool. Um, there is one more question, but I don't understand what does it mean. So I think I'm just gonna skip that. Thank you guys for taking your time out and being here. My question, like if you can answer it very quickly, is where do you see going? Yeah. So I think we'll take this question. Like, did you guys, when you started Bolt, was the plan to integrate crypto a core, or did it come later?
It actually started with the NFT and crypto, right? In fact, one of the very early ideas that we were working on was more to do with the fan tokens and the NFT for real players, right? Real players and real stadiums. But then we pivoted into hyper casual and strategy gaming because we realized that live is only a small part of live sport is a small part of the calendar, right? Cricket also, I mean, along with IPL, cricket happens like 90 days or 100 days in the 365-day calendar, and rest of the day the fan is sitting alone in their backyard doing nothing. So we want to give them a holistic experience, right? uh, with live as well as non-live, and that's the reason we pivoted to gaming. But NFT was always part of the part. In fact, it started there.
I think you have to appreciate what kind of demographics are you dealing with. We see there are a lot of fan tokens which are already live and successful in sports, in football actually. You see it on Chilis. There are fan tokens available for PSG, Real Madrid. Those are very popular. But I think it's still 3 to 4 years where we can see that kind of adoption in cricket because the markets are primarily Commonwealth, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, West Indies. So those markets are not, ready for fan tokens as yet. That's what we have thought. Still few years down the line, and we're still, it's not an idea that has been posted in dustbin. It's still alive in our heads, and we still have a strategy for it. And let's say there is obviously utility to it. People are, much more passionate fans that Even if we can have loyal fans for RCB, we can have fans for every team, right? So there is a use case. We'll be building on it sometime in the future as well.
Awesome. So, as Shubham mentioned about Chili's, shout out to Chili's. If you want to know more about Chili's, I have interviewed those guys. Go check in my channel. Very cool. And integration. Yeah, guys, what's the future of Bold? And we'll end it then and there.
I think the part one that we want to focus more is unified community via a unified economy. People are coming across the globe playing different sports. People are not, sticking to one sport because the rewards and incentives are designed in a way. You will be incentivized to play the sports, and if you enter that sport, you'll build a greater community for yourself as well. Someday I'm playing football, someday I'm playing cricket. Even though I do not like to play football, I might like, you see a lot of FIFA players in India who don't watch football or don't play football directly, but they like to play FIFA on PlayStation a lot, right? So that kind of community integration we are talking about in future, and it's just a single unified economy that at the core keeps them together.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else you guys want to share?
Yeah, I
Rahul?
think just to wrap it up, all we want to position Bold.io as a platform where like you get a holistic sports fan experience. You know, everything from playing games to owning assets to participating in live, talking to real fans, real celebrities, real players, real influencers. The likes of Harsha Bogle. So I think that's what we want. We want Bold.io to be the second screen for every sports fan when you're watching or when you're like even doing online.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, Jetster. Thank you, Killer Noobs. And thank you, all the guys, Akira, Adeep, Pinto, Varun, Adeep again, Choji, Axie Infinity main channel, Sandeep, Mixtape, all the guys. Sorry, I'm missing maybe a lot of people who joined in. Shout out to you. Thank you for watching this. Go and follow me at Dheeraj Shah. Go and follow Rahul, Shubham, Bold, follow Jester, Killer Noob. You can go check out our Twitter. I think everyone is tagged even on my Instagram. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, go and do it right now. And hopefully Rahul and Shubham will airdrop you some tokens if you do that. So, so awesome, awesome. All
Like,
right, guys. Thank you. Good
All
night.
right,
Sure.
thank you
Good
so much.
night.
thank you guys. It
Thank
was
you.
an amazing chat.
Yeah, nice chat.